Most people think discipline comes from motivation, but motivation dies fast, discipline stays. I learned that through fitness, and it changed my life.
And for most of my life, I didn't have discipline at all. I was eating terrible food, wasting time, and honestly, I didn't like who I was becoming. I wasn't confident, I wasn't healthy, and I definitely wasn't proud of my habits. But everything started changing when I discovered fitness. Not for the looks, not for attention, but because training forced me to build discipline I never had before. And today, I want to share how fitness helped me build discipline, confidence, and a new life. Before I started training, I had zero structure in my life. I was eating junk food almost every day, chips, soda, fast food, anything easy. I would stay up late, wake up tired, skip breakfast, and repeat the same cycle for weeks. My energy was low, my focus was bad, and I felt stuck. I wasn't a bad kid, I just didn't have goals, I didn't have discipline, and I didn't know where to start. The worst part was that I accepted it. I thought this was normal, until one day I realized I didn't want to stay the same person anymore. I wanted to be stronger physically, but also mentally. And that's what pushed me to start training. When I first started training, I had no idea what I was doing, but I discovered a simple routine that changed everything. Push, pull, legs, and I didn't train every day. I trained 4 days a week at first, then sometimes 3 days a week. It wasn't perfect, but what mattered was consistency. Push days were chest, shoulders, triceps. Pull days were back and biceps. Leg days were legs, obviously, and also core. And something interesting started happening. The more I trained, the more disciplined I became. I stopped skipping sessions, I stopped saying I'm tired, and I started showing up even when I didn't feel like it. That's when I learned something important. Motivation builds nothing. Discipline builds everything. Training was only half of the journey. The other half was food. And trust me, my diet was terrible at the beginning. I was eating fast food, sugary snacks, processed stuff, no protein, almost no vegetables. I didn't change everything overnight. Nobody does. I started making small changes. More protein, eggs, chicken, tuna, yogurt. More whole foods, less soda, less junk. And after a few months, I started to feel the difference. My energy improved, my recovery got better, I slept better, and my mood changed. I realized that food isn't just calories, it's fuel. And if you fuel your body right, your mind becomes stronger too. Training was only half of the journey. Because of fitness, my behavior changed without me even noticing. I became more organized. I started sleeping earlier, waking up earlier, drinking more water, walking more, and taking care of my body. I stopped wasting hours on my phone and started focusing on my goals. These weren't just fitness habits. These were life habits. And slowly, I became more confident. Not because I looked better, but because I kept promises to myself. That's real confidence. Confidence is not about being perfect. Confidence is about knowing you can show up, even on your worst days. Fitness taught me that discipline is a skill, not a talent. You don't need to be born disciplined. You create discipline through action. Every workout you finish makes you stronger. Every healthy meal builds momentum. Every time you show up when you don't want to, you're building a new identity. And that identity becomes powerful. Discipline transfers to school, to work, to relationships, to everything. Fitness wasn't just about muscles. It was mental training for real life. If you're watching this and you feel stuck, tired, unmotivated, or lost, trust me, I was there too. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Start with 3 days a week. Start with small habits. Start with a 10-minute walk. It doesn't matter how slow you go. What matters is that you don't stop. Build discipline, and confidence will follow. Fitness changed my life, and it can change.